All right, here we go. Show number 41 of Into the Cubieverse, and we are live.
The Cubieverse is a GPS-based game where you walk to get keys, use keys to open trivia vaults, answer trivia to earn rewards, and use those rewards to enhance your in-game experience or convert to real-life rewards. Thanks for joining us tonight, and get ready as we take you into the Cubieverse. I'm Magic Dragon, along with Goldminer and Atrocities once again. Goldminer, how was your week in the Cubieverse?
My week has been fairly exciting, actually.
Oh,
Let's see. So I bought my blueprint, my Bitcoin fan.
Bitcoin fan.
Bitcoin fan, yes. Drawing
yeah.
a blank there for a second. I have been selling Bitcoin fans like crazy, trying to recoup my initial earnings on
Good.
it. Getting close.
Okay.
I'm over the 250. But saying that, obviously, if you add in the resin and the paint, green keys,
Yeah.
not quite there. Likewise, I also managed to pick myself up a origami princess as well as Scorpio QB. Just that one was just tonight. So I'm stockpiling. Shouldn't say stockpiling. I'm getting
Yeah.
the QBs I haven't had, and
Oh, wonderful.
great. So let's see. I've had 2 buddy quests this week as well. One with somebody, or with Wilf, who's a viewer of the show, which is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Today with, do you remember the name? Atrocities?
Sorry, I don't remember their names.
I can't remember the name. It was a different, like, I think it's something Sea Sandman or something like that, or
Okay.
Man maybe. Anyways, that was just tonight, and that was late this afternoon, and that was just kind of whirlwind busy time at the time that I completed that, so that was great. And yeah, between the we watched the boxing match the other day, and that was quite a fun show, except for the
You know what?
Netflix issues going on towards as the events kept going on to the next session. I'm not a boxing fan or somebody who watches boxing, so I'm not match.
Sure.
I'm not sure what they're called.
Yeah.
Anyways, that got quite frustrating, but once we got onto my iPad, it finally worked.
Oh, good. Okay.
Farmer Hank just was kind of here nor there, like, no rushing out. If I got a blue vault, I got a blue vault. And I think that was rather. Oh, got my fountain up and running, leveled it up to level 10.
Saw that open.
Yeah, loving the use of the fountain, so that was great too.
What we discovered, though, is you can't actually level up a fountain, right? So it was a...
Sorry, leveled up the QB. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yes, you cannot level up a fountain. You can level up the QB, and the more you level it up, the more amount of minutes, the more minutes you get in your use of it.
You can level up your QB by going to the fountain?
No, you level up.
Okay.
And then you put the QB into the fountain.
Yeah, okay.
Structure.
I thought for a second there you were saying you level them up at the fountain.
No.
I'm like, okay, that sounds interesting.
That would be nice. But here I leveled up one. I'm like, oh, this should be cool at the fountain. And you don't even see the QB. So kind of disappointing that way. But other than that, that was about my week. What about your week? Magic Dragon, how was your week?
Well, for me, I had one attempted, but turned out not to have logged in for 7 days.
Ouch.
Answer couldn't respond, so deleted it, and I've not respawned Buddy Quest since then for some reason. Did get some tags added through bug reports in the game to ask for send a picture this is a pizza store, give a pizza tag on it. They responded right away. We have asked for a vault movement and fountain tag at our community center. They've not responded in any way whatsoever to that. So a bunch of O'Brien's asked for that one
When did
because
you
we're trying to
put
fit in.
When did you put that request in?
Oh, Thursday.
Okay, because I put in a request on Thursday and I haven't heard back myself either, and they're usually quite quick.
Yeah,
So
and Llama Mama put a bug request in too, but for something else. Multiple?
That was weeks ago.
Oh, that was okay. Uh, that was something different from a couple weeks ago. My bad.
supposedly that's correct. They're filing a bug report and asking for certain adjustments to tags. I've done that. That's what they're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's worked and it's been great. So if you can't get onto the OpenStreetMaps and make your adjustments that way, you can ask them, and it allows you to attach a photo. You can send whatever you need to make the request. We found out now, like with the tags that we have in this small town, there are only like 2 plazas, basically, 3 plazas that have any sort of shops in them. Minimal tags before, but the tags now are able to be used even if they're like super close together. So it's really, things seem to have changed for the better that way. I don't know if I missed a memo or whatnot, but and the reach as well of, hold on, what do you mean the reach?
We've been driving forward.
Oh, right, okay. And there was tags that we would never be able to use before, but because of the reach now, we're able to access them and use those as bolts, which is great.
Yeah. I love I'm still loving the extra. I'm
Oh,
still loving the extra reach. That's really
it
changed the way.
has, it is, I can't believe how much it's improved the game. Like, I'm not saying that the game was bad, but well, it wasn't. I love the game. I would have played it exactly the same, but the new reach thing is just phenomenal. The amount of
Makes it better.
vault that opens up that you're able to get now. We went on a Trade Shack drive the other one day this week. It was great for one of us. And she laughs in the background. She's getting all the bonus drops for the corrupt-to-dos on the Plague Doctor and all these other things and double resources here. It was just great. She had a great time. And I'm like, yep, minimal resources with minimal paint. Every single time.
Did you go during happy hour?
We ended up hitting happy hour just near the end of it. We didn't know, right? It just came on the one day. So, but I do like that feature as well. That makes me want to search out trade shacks when it's happy hour, right? So, which would be, I really like that.
Okay, so try that. Try hitting them with with happy hour, with the fountain use. So you have perfect toss every single time. It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were going to say that we did try the fountain finally this week. We had a chance to went into London. Good. I like it. I thought, I misunderstood. I thought it was going to be guaranteed that you get that question as one of the 3.
Yeah.
And not that it would be that question every single time. So that was great for me because I did my first wish. She put her wish in there and she ended up getting stuck with fashion, I think. Oh no, entertainment, which I'd been telling her all along was actually a pretty good category.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So very rarely do I get what dressmaker made the dress for this person at this event. Like, I'm doing pretty well at not getting those questions. So, and I don't get those ones right if I do. Let's see, Trade Shack started leveling up, bunch of O'Briens leveled up some white user vaults. She's gonna buy the blue blueprint tonight, 2 of them tonight, to upgrade them later to get a sushi restaurant and a pizza store in Dorchester as well.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Make sure you do all that so they close in the same month. You get go for the
That's my plan. Yeah. Her plan is Just buy them, do them, get them up as soon as you can, so we have to use them instead of driving to London. I'm like, okay, you do that. I'm going to try to get top builder 1 month. So for the next few months, I'm gonna level up a couple blues or whites. I'm gonna get the blues just near the end to put the premium on, and then at the start of 1 month, I'm gonna cut the ribbons on the white, cut the ribbons on the blue, and put the premiums in right away, so I have a chance to get something done and build a couple more white vaults, hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's my strategy, but I'm going to need some assistance from anybody close that have nail gun Kellys to maybe make a little trip to Dorchester.
So you can.
I don't know.
So for the record, if you start on the first of the month, you can build a white vault, build a blue vault, and get a premium structure in within those 30 days. And
Okay.
you might have a little bit of leeway.
How many builders do I need for that, though? Like, I have a couple rare, well, I have a bunch of rare builders and a few common, but nothing else.
So when we were doing that, we had a couple of level 10 rares builders and white. So we were actually getting all of our builder slots filled.
Okay.
Between the two of us, right? So you should be able to, like, between the two you guys should be, like, I'm sure both you have blueprints for the QB, which is a rare builder,
Yeah.
right? And I think you've got...
Yeah, we have enough of the rare and the common
Yeah.
QBs, builder QBs. That
Yeah.
part's fine.
So you
He
should
would
be...
like Nail Kelly though.
Yeah, well, the nail gun Kelly will help you for sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why you guys aren't selling one of yours. Are you going to get another one when you're top builder for the month as well? The next month?
if we make it, then yes, but we're not there yet, right?
Okay. I didn't know if you get them over and over again.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
interesting.
You can every time you're in the top 10 for the builders, global builders for the month,
Okay.
you can get a nail gun Kelly.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great to know, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure some people would like to keep it secret, but others would. Our viewers would like to know that information, and we're about helping the other people, right?
For sure.
Somewhat.
For sure. No, so you, as I said, you can do it, whatever. And likewise, you get the majority of the points when you open up you cut the ribbon on your vaults, right? So,
Right. So that's what I was thinking. What I would do is have some built up and ready to cut the month before.
Yeah.
Then
Get
on
your
the first of the month, cut them right away, put the premiums on,
well,
and then start with whites and blues again. So I could have like kind of multi-run.
So
But that's going to take me a while to build up the resources and stuff to be able to do that.
the trick is the resources, right?
Yeah.
For sure, and the resin and whatnot. So we were told when we were doing it, and it seemed to make sense, that the premiums are worth 10,000 builder points.
Okay.
Versus the blue user vault is worth 500 builder points, which means the premium is 20 times more valuable. It's only but it's only 10 times the cost, right? So,
so the value's there.
So the value's there. So you need, to get the premiums up. We both had 2 premiums built last month, plus all the supporting whites and whatnot to get to where we got to.
Yeah.
So if you do 2 premiums in a month, you should be, historically, you'll make the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, historically, you never know, right?
You never know. It all depends on the level of competition and what's going on next month. Likewise, Christmas trees next month. Do they give builder points? Do they give the full builder points? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
That'd be an interesting question.
How about you, Atrocities? How was your week?
So, let's see here.
I'm listening.
Talking about building. So I started building another structure myself. I got a blue user vault going up. Interestingly, I put in a nail gun. I was about to start my blue. I got the white done, leveled up. I was about to start my blue user vault build, and I threw in, out of curiosity, I threw in my nail gun Kelly, and it said it was going to take 3 days to build.
Wow.
Also, I'm gonna say on the white vault, when I started that one, it said 60 hours to build, which I
Oh,
thought was really cool. That it showed the number of hours it was taking to build
yeah.
versus the number of days and the on like that were the other ones. So I thought that was a change that they were making. But when I went to put in the blue up, it was back in days, right? So
You're right.
I kind of like the hours aspect of it because it was a little because it seemed to me when you started building one in the past or we started building one, it's the same number of days, but then you go and you click it immediately, it's not lining up that way exactly. So
Right.
I imagine the difference is the hours that are being reduced by the level of the QB, but
Yes.
I don't know that didn't know that for a fact. So the hours were good. Anyways,
Well, on our end, I believe it always shows the time in days and hours to completion. Days,
once
hours, minutes.
once you
If you
started
click on
once you
it,
started the build, but not when you're
no, every time we go by it, we click on it
yeah
to
yeah
see what it
but
says,
that's
and it tells
but
me how much
that's
time is left.
but that started once you start. I'm talking about like at when you're just starting it, it's telling you how much time it's going to take,
Oh, right. Yes.
right?
Oh, I got what you're saying. Like,
Right?
as you're loading it up.
Yeah, because that was
Okay.
one of the things last month when we were working for it. It's like okay, like it's going to take how many days? Like, am I going to get this done in
Right.
time and doing all the calculations, right? So seeing it in hours
Right.
was good.
No. Yeah.
But so what I am doing though was I threw a common builder in, and it said it was going to take 7 days to build the blue user vault. I threw the
Okay.
rare in. It said it was going to take 5 days, and then
Okay.
the nail gun Kelly said it was going to take 3 days. So I was like
Hmm.
super impressed. I imagine the
Yeah.
architect would be down to 1 day. So
One day that would be my guess too.
right, that'd be my guess. But
Huh.
anyways, it was cool. And,
We need
and sorry, what?
we need an architect.
We definitely need an
Yes.
architect. Unfortunately, they seem to go for a lot more than what we can currently
Yeah.
afford.
Mm-hmm. Hawk has a question. Does Adventure Road give hunter points?
Yeah, it only gives hunter points, for sure. So which means
Yeah.
even if you've completed all of Adventure
Sorry.
Road,
Only give.
yes,
I read that.
only gives hunter points. And
Yeah.
likewise,
No.
if you've completed Adventure Road, by completing a daily task, you still get hunter points with it.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
so it's important to do even if you've stopped.
Yeah. If you're going to try and place on the board,
Right.
for sure.
If we're going for the placement for sure. And then likewise this week we did a bit of direct negotiation and buying from some other players. So I was able to talk to somebody that had some blueprints and work out a deal where I supplied them with certain resources, and they were able to in turn would print some cubies for me and sold
Okay.
them back to me. So I binned them some resources, and then they printed and then binned them back to me at, we negotiated the pricing. I wouldn't do this with anybody. I needed to trust the person for
Right.
sure. But as a result, I was able to get myself a
Oh, nice.
Air Laura Cubie and Air Laura Ghost. Sorry, be sure Air Laura Ghost Air Laura.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
the Tiki Chief. So
Oh, wow.
very happy with that. So I moved up to 62 on the collector boards for cubies. So
Very nice.
I was happy with that. So, and then I've got an Air Ghost George to come.
Okay.
And I'll be hopefully buying both of those two Air Ghost Air cubies as well. So I have to make a trade.
Yeah.
But do many other people make trades? Hey, somebody. Do many of you guys make those trades? Sorry, off to somebody. Do you guys at your house make those trades with people?
I have a little bit. Like there's one in the works right now, but not. It's not something a bunch of O'Briens would be comfortable doing unless you really knew the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, chat there? Do you guys are able to arrange some stuff ahead of time? Or so, and likewise, like when we were making the deal, it was all like, so what's the market value? So we when we
Yeah.
sold them resources, it wasn't like we were giving them resources for like dirt cheap, and they were in
Right.
turn giving it back, right? It was like the net position. So even if they hadn't come through on their end, I wouldn't have been that. Uh,
No, you at
that
least made the proper
right?
amount
I
of
would have
money.
made a decent amount. I would have
Yeah.
been okay with selling those resources or so, right? So,
Yeah, but
but
you don't want to make a bad name for yourself. If someone makes a deal with me, I follow through with it, right? So if you make a deal with somebody
yeah,
and then they go ahead and take that QB and just go sell it in the auction house
yeah,
instead, that would definitely earn someone a bad name, I would think.
absolutely. And I think people are I think generally the community is pretty good that way. They're not
Oh,
trying to
exactly. That's
whatever. So, and
it's a
that's a good thing about
community-based
it.
game, right? You can do it on your own, but it's definitely easier and more fun with the community. So
For sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
foster that.
I see in the chat here, Posey saying that yeah, he's done that before. He's had people print the QBs where he had the resources, not the blueprints. So, you know, it's
Okay.
a it's a good way to do it, especially if you've got the resources,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that you can do them. Um, so that's cool. So that's about my kind of highlights from this week in the Cubieverse or so. Um, I guess something that want to come up on is obviously the Bitcoin fan QB was released this week,
Yeah.
which we found out about during last week's show, and I think we got the date wrong on when it was actually released, but it did get released midday. So,
But that also said it wasn't going to be released until Wednesday, and then it popped out on Tuesday.
yeah,
Mm.
so I guess it really wasn't known.
Surprise.
Yeah, for sure. So.
Did you guys buy it at your house?
We did not pull the trigger on it.
I see. Did you get one?
Pardon? Nope, not yet.
You haven't bought one?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Okay. Someone's looking to
Prices-
make a trade.
Longer go, prices go down, right?
Well, somebody started pricing them really low, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing. Like obviously, Gold Miner got the blueprint. I decided I wasn't going to get it since she was getting it because I didn't necessarily want to
Yeah.
compete against her. But then it was like
Right.
okay, she got it, and then it's like we're going to the print shop. And at one point, I think you had what 2, 3 different print shops printing, doing prints because we're trying to get up right away and maximize the sale
Yeah.
prices. And I
Yeah.
don't know, why don't you talk about like what you got for sell prices?
So the first few I was getting 20,000.
Nice.
You know, they were like, buy it now, 20,000. And then people kept lowering and lowering the prices. And even I placed at 20, I had to lower from some of the ones that had been put up well before ours or mine.
Right. Yeah.
And now they're down to 10,000, and that's that magic number. That's when they'll sell. They like to sell
Yeah.
overnight. People, I don't know where they're buying them from, but they like to overnight. And likewise, I put like 5 or 6 up at 13, and
Yeah.
went for like 86,000 or 8,600. But I was surprised because I was listing constantly. There was times that I had 10 or 12 up up online at
Right.
sold. Like constant mail coming in notifying me of bids and buyouts and things like that. But I am floored that somebody who's constantly bidding on the one that's the buy it now for 13 ends up at the end, just hours before it was set to close. Not that they necessarily know that. End up buying it now for 13. But if you'd looked, you could have seen others of mine. Not that they would have known it was mine.
Yeah.
But they could have bought it now for 10. It's like,
But it
I'm all
happens. Like,
surprised.
there are so many times I see lots of people getting into bidding wars on certain things that they've been following this auction thing, and you just get that oh, I want that. That's mine. Well, they're selling it cheap for someone else. I don't care. I've been bidding on this for 2 days. This is mine, and they just go for it, right? And they end up paying more.
And
It's
it's
like
funny because
competition.
don't you look around to see if you're getting the best price, or is that like, does that show my age? Like,
Well, I do, but you can see so much. I can tell. Like, but I know there are some times when I bid on something, it's like I haven't. I just like I know this is closing in 10 minutes. I've been fighting for 3 days. I think it's mine, and I just go for it. And I've looked later on, and it hasn't cost me too much, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, when it starts to get to a range I'm not comfortable with, I'm like, okay, this isn't the price this should be, and I'll look and see if there's more in the auction house.
But
Because when you go and you find something, there's only one when you searched originally.
yeah.
Yeah, you get like.
I was gonna say like from the seller's perspective, because obviously you're talking about it from the buyer's perspective, but this has gone up and people are trying to sell, but then like someone just like drops the pants, keeps dropping their pants on pricing, and if like all the people that bought the blueprint had held the price at like 50,000,
same price,
30,000, like and they wouldn't need to sell as many, and they wouldn't have been as much, whatever, right? They could have just sold 25,000, but there's always someone going, 25,000, I'm going to sell mine for 20, and then the market price drops to 20, and then it just keeps dropping down.
95,
right?
and then 19.
And gold miner got burned there because the one time you're like, okay, the market price right now is 13,000. So she lists 4 of them at 13,000.
No, I went a little more out than that, 5.
Right, and then someone drops the market price to like 12 or 10, right? So, and then she's sitting out there, right?
Well, they still sell, like you sell a bit lower than what you wanted. Like some people were getting better deals on them than others. It just happened. Yeah. Like, it's frustrating as the seller because it would be nice to be able to go in and reduce your price if you wanted to. But it takes the auction part out of it. But
so Corellis just made the part. Market price drops because people don't want to risk it going unsold. Okay, I get that, right? But because if the market price, the lowest price in the market is 15,000 currently, why not list it at 15,000 along with everybody else, right? Because then the moment you drop that to 14, a bunch of other ones are going to go to 14.
Then yours will sell.
And yours might sell, but then you gotta keep dropping.
If like it's what's that called again when people this type of business model?
The $2 whore is always busy.
What?
No,
so the $2 whore is always busy.
I didn't want to say that, but
okay.
If I can, if there are 20 cubies listed for 20,000, and I list 20 for 15,000, I'm going to sell 20 right away. It's
until someone else comes along and decides they're going to sell them for 14.
And then if my bottom limit was 15, where I make my profit, and that's good for me, then.
But the thing is, they're not going to sell because the next guy comes along and suddenly lists them at 14 until you keep dropping the price.
Yeah. Well, but it also goes by you set the value yourself too, right? Like the Halloween event, I have a lot of moonstones because last year I did extra epic vaults to get more moonstones. I won some. I got a bunch this year as well. People were selling them, and I saw them listed for like 25, 30,000. Some people had them for 60 or 70,000. Like, okay, to me, there were 15,000 cubic coins. That'd be great for me. Sure. I sold 3 of them in like half an hour for 15,000 each.
Right.
And that helped me recoup some of the stuff I had lost and went to buy the witch, and I had to get back my stuff, right?
I know. Riel said here, cartel is the word. And I agree. Right now, that if everybody thing is like if all the people that bought it because it's a major investment, and they put it in at held the price at 20,000, they would have sold at 20,000, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay. I don't know.
You'd have to
Yeah,
get
to some people,
sorry.
they might cave in 20,000. You know, if
Yeah.
that's what they want. Some people would have bought 50,000 if they were all listed for 50,000.
Oh,
But a
yeah.
majority of people would buy. Wait, in a capitalistic society, you wait till the price. You know, the competition, right?
Mhm.
You wait for the competition to swoop in, and then you go buy it.
And when you're selling these, you either jump on that lower price, or you sit there and you hold it and you don't sell them for what you should. And
I don't
Yep.
disagree that when you're listing, you got to look at the current lowest market price and go to that. But I don't like the idea of being the guy that drops that market price, you know,
No, I don't.
significantly.
Specifically, just for that, I wouldn't either. Like if everyone was selling at 50,000, I wouldn't go in at 15,000.
Right.
Mhm.
Like that just would seem wrong to me. But I would go in at 45,000 if all I needed was to sell 3 of them to recoup the cost to make me,
Mhm.
you know. And then if someone felt like they could get away with 40,000, like I understand. The more of them that there are printed, the value drops considerably.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
look at the Leprechaun, or whatever
Yeah.
the most recent one was called. Now those are worthless.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
I got 40, 50,000 for some of mine.
Yeah.
But also the day has changed where buy it now was not as common as in like
No,
not
exactly.
people had buy it now, or the ability to put buy it now.
Yeah.
Versus now there's lots of people that can do buy it now. So there's a lot more up on the market, right? For buy it now.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
also, like, you can price it for whatever you want when it's a 3-day like when it's a full auction, but when you have the buy it now, you have to stick with. You have to. I
What
don't
you want.
lowest, but you have to be in line at that low point.
Yeah.
So it sucks, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Like, Atrocities has been harping on me all week, going, "Look at all the paint you're using. Look at all the resin." And I'm like, well, I have a lot, like a good amount
Yeah.
of. I still
So-
have a decent amount of paint, and thankfully we have been putting the white coffee cups in during happy hour, so I have been increasing my white paint. But now it's getting low again, and low
Right.
being.
Yeah.
I think I'm at 12,000. I had bumped it. I got it back up to 20, but
Right.
Okay.
But the thing is, right? Like I'm looking at her costs. I don't know how much we've actually printed,
Yeah.
but I think you're at what you've recouped you've sold 270 worth or so, right?
286.
286. You take
Nice.
off the
Very
10,
good.
you take off
Yeah.
the 10% fee, so now you're at
Yeah.
like 260ish or so, right?
Yeah,
So
250
she's
or more.
recouped. She
Yeah,
has in
250.
theory recouped the cost of the Cubicoin that she invested in. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But
And she owns Blueprint.
and she owns a blueprint. But then, same time, you spent the green keys to list all those. Say 20,
Yeah.
20 green keys. Well, I could have taken those green keys, dumped them in a green vault, and got
Yeah.
I got 1,000 Cubicoin, and
Right.
each of those is worth 10,000 resin, and so there's 250,000 resin that she put into here. So that's, and I think, I'm not sure the current price of resin, but I know I was getting about 40,000 resin. So that's about 4,000 resin per print.
You
So
see,
Right.
what? Plus the cost of the cost of the print, which initially you're throwing. No, did we throw some green keys in there initially? Which
To
would
get the speed up the print.
get the speed up so we could get some more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
well, that was only a few though.
there's only a few. But the point is, you could have got for that 250,000 resin, you could have gotten say 120,000 Cubicoin.
Yeah.
So do you understand, or can you get a picture of what my car ride over to the print shop sounds like?
Oh yeah.
And
All
tell
I'm
that
saying is
I'm
that at
surprised
the end of
you
the
didn't-
day, that the price of getting dropped to 10,000 is too low for, if you're thinking of it, it's too low for the guys that bought the blueprint to recoup their cost.
Yeah.
Right? They should
Yeah,
if they
well,
needed to keep it at around 20,000 for them to recoup their cost at a reasonable level.
I never looked at it and thought that I would buy this new QB print to make my money back off of it. When my consideration to buy it was just so that I'd have it and I could print
right?
it and I own it. So
Yeah.
it just playing the game, I wasn't looking to get my coin back. Wasn't thinking of using it to get my QB coin back. Like I can, when I picture your drive and the way you play this game, back and forth, back and forth, I'm surprised you didn't move your headquarters to the print shop and just sit there.
Well, they're 20
We'd
minutes.
have to move we'd have to move the print shop to our headquarters.
Yes.
Or you do that too.
It would be the best chance.
Right?
Yeah.
As Rail's comment about I could have sold that red, yellow, and white paint during the sacrifice. Yes, I could have. That said, I was not intending to sell. There were a few people that had asked me to sell it to them separately, and I would have obviously honored that. But I was not intending to sell my paint. And I'll get the comments again here, but
Well, I think
I want a lot of sacrifices to happen for people.
right. So I'm thinking of what his point though is the fact that the cost of printing the QB is actually, if you factor in that cost, right, which is worth another 2,500 QB coin, right? So you're probably closer to the 70. If you were to sell all those resources independently before converting them in, like basically you're putting $7,500 worth of, or 7,500 QB coins worth of resources into the print shop to print that QB, and then you're turning around and getting 10,000 for it, less than 10%.
Yeah.
So you get 9,000. So your return on your investment at 10,000 is 1,500 QB coins, which means you got to sell a lot to actually recoup the cost of your blueprint.
If I just sold the paint, I would have made it back a heck of a lot faster. Then with the profit of the paint, I could have bought the blueprint and not ready to sell it.
Yeah. So there's different ways to play the game, and none of them, not just one of them, is right.
No. I'm just and the point of the conversation here is talking about looking at the market price and basically saying, from my point of view, is I think the market price is too low, and if you're in a rational market, it should be going for a lot higher. And I didn't at that point. That's why I didn't buy the blueprint, because one, we didn't want to be competing against each other on that topic, right? But it's fun. But at the same time, it was a hell of a lot of fun for Gold Miner to be selling. And in there doing it.
Yeah, it really is fun. I enjoy getting all the mail and seeing who's bidding on it, and it's. I'm always amazed with how many people were bidding on multiple, like.
Yeah, well, because you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, like if I had like 4 up at the same price that I just listed at the same time, how you get like 4 of one person bidding, and all of them went up by 100, and you're like, why are you bidding on 4? Like that's not my price that I'm bidding. So, I don't know. I was just a little, it's just a little baffled.
I do. That's what, if there's multiple what I'm looking for, I'll put a holder bid on all of them.
Yeah.
And then I'll follow it along until it's get closer. See who's got. Sometimes people go crazy because all of a sudden they jump the price up by 80,000 cubic coins. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna mess around with that one. And then you focus it, whittle down, figure out which one you want to go for.
Yeah. I guess. Oh,
speaking of cubies, I'm at like 112 now for cubic connectors.
Nice.
Really?
And I'm not doing anything crazy either. So.
I'm somewhere around low 40s, high 30s.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone, so I can't.
No, that's fine. I just knew that because I look at all the stuff all the time, and it's just, I got a new QB today. I wonder what was on that now.
Every time I get a new one.
Still in the shop, Rail asked. I'm not too sure. I everything I had sold overnight, so I do have one that I just picked up and one that's finished printing now, but
I think he was talking about the blueprint.
Oh, I thought he was talking about.
There's
Okay,
300.
sorry.
There's 351 blueprints currently in the shop still. So,
That would make
Okay.
sense.
so
What did they start at?
Pardon?
What did they start at? How many?
What is it?
Blueprint.
Blueprints 250,000.
No,
And
how many did they start?
500.
with?
500.
Okay.
So they
I
sold
wasn't sure if we looked
149.
at like I wasn't sure they started 500 or 1,000. So.
Hmm.
Okay.
No. So
There's only 351 left.
only 351. Yes. Yeah. For
Okay.
sure. Anyways, I'm not gonna buy them all. I don't think I need a proper price or buy them all because, my thought here is, at the end of the day, I want to accumulate enough Cubicoin in my account so I can compete and buy the next,
Yeah.
$6 million or 6 million Cubicoin auction item or so.
Right.
And I'm not getting there by, unfortunately, the way to get there wasn't necessarily through this blueprint this time. Right?
No.
It was a lot of
It's
I
fun.
understand.
Don't kid yourself. You don't have anywhere near 6 million cubic coins
That-
either.
I'm not
definitely
saying I
building
have
up
6,
to it.
but in order to get the 6 million,
You can't buy every blueprint.
Ever been close to that?
not
like-
even close. Not even
So-
close.
There.
All I'm saying is,
Different
is,
strategies again, though, right?
is for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think
So
we beat this.
I have some exciting news as well for future shows coming up. I spoke to Illusion Weaver the other night, and I have talked to him about getting some more loot codes. So hopefully for next week, we should be getting some loot codes for Christmas trees. For the Christmas. So, and I did ask for various different sizes. I have no idea what size like the common, rare, epic. I have no idea what size I'll get sent, or if it will be a variation of the different ones. But hopefully next week we will be giving out, same as we did with the stamps, one a week. So yeah,
And
to a live viewer.
yes. So
Yeah.
tune in next week for that. Obviously, it's incentive to get your local players watching because even if you don't get it, someone local
Yep.
gets it just the same as you getting it yourself. So, yeah. So, and did you happen to mention that there were various sizes we asked for?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Are you not listening? I see what you said. What you mean now, Greg? He doesn't listen, does he?
I was reading some of the comments. I knew what you were saying. So
I
didn't
know, that's okay.
that. So I don't know if that means we're getting epics. Hopefully, it means we'll get some rares
Common.
and
Some
commons.
rares,
So that's super exciting. So
And since we're talking about upcoming news, and after this, I'm going to have to bow out. I'm sorry, everyone, but I'm really under the weather tonight. But I have talked to a new-ish player who started during the Halloween event, Llama Mama. Happens to be my daughter as well. She could be our host, or guest host. Yeah, guest host.
Mhm.
Guest host, sorry. Yeah, guest host next week, hopefully. Depending on work schedule. But we have a future new person coming on to say something.
that'd be great talking to you for sure.
My head is not doing well today. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But thank you guys. I'm going to
Take
sign
care.
out. It's been a great show.
Okay, feel better.
Feel better.
Cool. I sure hope I do. Good luck selling all your Bitcoin fan cubies and print some more.
Well, when you want one.
Message me
Right.
when they hit 5,000, okay? Good night, guys.
You're losing at 5,000.
Yeah.
Give it a few
Good
more days.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Okay. So I think we beat that topic to death. Moving on. So as I said, we had three events this week, or three things of Bitcoin, Farmer Hank, and of course the boxing. I want to talk about Farmer Hank next. Gold miner. What do you think about Farmer Hank?
been there, done that. Like,
Right.
I would more like, as I said earlier, we didn't hunt really purposely for that. If we got a blue vault, we got a blue vault. We already had a lot of resources. It's always good to add to the resources, but we certainly didn't go crazy on this event by any means. I would like to make a suggestion. I would love to see Farmer Hank get a family and like animals to go with that. Like each time, if this is going to be a consistent mini event, let's get some other cubies going with it instead of Farmer Hank. Like if you're new, Farmer Hank could drop or one of his pals.
So are you thinking like Farmer Hank always drops the Farmer Hank blueprint, but every time you would do a Farmer Hank event, they could, have like Farmer Hank's wife and daughter and a like full family?
Exactly.
And
Well, exactly. Like, and maybe just like next time they do Farmer Hank event, have Mrs. Farmer Hank and have her drop to everybody who's already done the event. And if you're a new player, Farmer Hank drops this time, and next time you get the option of Farmer Hank's wife or an animal.
and maybe just or maybe just like even just reskin Farmer Hank in a different color, so it could be as Farmer Hank's brother and Farmer Hank's son and whatnot. Just as a simple, as a simple adjustment, cheap adjustment, right? You could just because like obviously there's a cost to making every cubie and whatnot, but a super cheap one would be just to take Farmer Hank and instead of being blue, you make him a white or a pink Farmer Hank, and call him like Farmer Hank's brother, and that way there's a different color that's dropping, which gives you people new.
As for some of the comments popping up, the
Yeah.
$2 mistress,
$2 mistress, love it,
Farmer Peg.
right?
We have we have some good suggestions going on.
Okay.
But like
And-
I think like even if you change the color, like to a green QB or a yellow QB, like or like every different color of the rainbow or whatever, right? Like it would at least. I would personally prefer to see different QBs, like give like a horse QB or a sheep QB or like various different things like that, or Mrs. Farmer Hank or like
But you could eventually then get a sheep QB, but then introduce different colors of those sorts of QBs to create like that collectivity sort of element to it. In fact, you could probably, if we're going to go that route, use the similar to the dolls, whereby every time Farmer Hank event comes out, you got a chance to get like a farmer, all the Farmer Hank's family in the one-time doll type blueprint, which allows you to print, even if they just release one edition every time, you'd want to go out and get those Farmer Hank blueprints, right?
That to me would be a bigger incentive to play, like to go
right?
all out.
Shiny Farmer Hank with the 1%, whatever. Absolutely. That makes it. But, I'm going to say, because, like, when the Farmer Hank dropped, right, the event dropped, it wasn't expected. I'm like, oh, there's an event, and I'm excited. And then it's like, open it up and check it, it says Farmer Hank. It's like, there's that initial disappointment, right? It was like, it's like Christmas, and you go to grandma's at Christmas, and you get this, she hands you this big box of present, and you open it up, and what do you got in it? You got underwear and hand cream, right? Like, it's you're kind of disappointed and let down. And I think a lot of people kind of reacted that way to it, because I think that was my initial reaction. I think a lot of people had it, but
What kind of grandma giving you?
I
said-
say
Wishy?
it's right. And I guess Rael would be wanted socks, and unfortunately, Farmer Hank didn't have socks. But some of our suggestions you put out here would next time make socks. But I am going to say that when I thought about Farmer Hank, though, they actually may have actually listened to what we were saying the previous 2 weeks, in the fact that with the Halloween event, right, we got all these resources and we got the blueprints for the new players, but they couldn't print anything other than the basic comments, right? Well, now with this, a new player who got a Scarecrow blueprint, he's already got the pumpkin seeds, and he can get his hay, and now they can print the Scarecrow, which is great for new players. So, it's almost like they kind of listened to what we said about that, and I think that's actually it was actually a great thing, right? For new players, for veterans like us that have played a while. As I said, it was like getting grandma's present, being disappointed, right? But I'm going to suggest that perhaps
Time with the present.
right? I don't know. Perhaps we're going to see an event sometime soon where they're going to have Farmer Hank's son, Plumber Boy, and Farmer Hank and Plumber Boy is going to be giving out nuts. I guess bolts is really what they are. Would they be? So you can print the monster cubie, and I guess we would have pipes, maybe. I don't know. For as a new resource, and so, the Farmer Hank actually alleviated one of the issues that we're talking about with the Halloween event. So you look at it combined, I think it's not actually a bad play by Titanium Toast to do that.
But given that Farmer Hank gives out carrots as well, maybe farm animals might not be the right thing.
Right? Well, can you not use those carrots though? That their carrots are used in the Easter bunny. Yeah.
Easter. But I'm just saying, maybe Farmer Hank is a vegetable farmer and not a animal farmer.
Right. Well, he doesn't do fruit.
Yeah. Sorry, Posey made a comment here about an epic resource for the Farmer Hank being a pitchfork. Also, not a bad idea.
Right.
Like if we're moving up along the lines of different cubies with the Farmer Hank.
Right. So, bottom line here is they said it's going to repeat. We threw out a couple ideas of things that would make it exciting for new players or whatever, but at the same time, it makes sense they did that because if you were a newer player, you didn't have any straw or hay or whatever it's called, now you can actually go and make use of that Scarecrow cubie you got at Halloween. So now they'll get, as I said, plumber boy event with bolts for the monster.
Speaking of Plumber Boy, he has not been around for a few weeks. He's usually here every week.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, I reading Discord quite a bit this week, or on Discord a bit more than I've ever been. And a lot of the newer players seem to be complaining about keys. So even, and especially after the Halloween event, that they're very lacking on keys. And with the wider areas of being able to grab the vaults, they're burning through keys like crazy. So that, like, to the point of they might be able to take advantage of the straw that's in the Farmer Hank event. Maybe they aren't, because the events were too close together.
Right.
What I'm trying to say.
But, like, you can get, like, 200... You walk and go 6. You can get 225 white keys in a day at minimum.
The one I'm thinking of was saying he wasn't getting any walking goals, which I don't understand that. Like, he was going for them, but he wasn't getting keys, and they weren't showing up in his headquarters, which obviously they're not.
That's kind of bug.
Yeah, so apparently he sent that person had sent a bug request or bug report in. But just saying, some of these newer players and some older players not have a ton of keys just to be playing another event, so goes back to back.
What do you think of the option to purchase more keys for crystal keys?
I saw that somewhere, and I think that would be personally, I think that would be a great idea if you needed to have keys.
Yeah.
Likewise, I would love to be able to see some of my yellows being able to be reduced down. And I know you never have been able to do that, but like when you're sitting with a ton of specific keys.
So those could be future shops from Tim Hortons or coffee shop drinks. The option to do, to break down keys, come in. But like down foraging was never something that I think I can understand why they'd want you to up forage stuff, and down foraging not necessarily being an option. But if you're paying for in crystal keys, maybe it becomes more of a viable type option, right? Because I think one of the things they need to do is to make the game more, viable, is and viable for them from an economic point of view, is more options to spend crystal keys on stuff, or more for use crystal keys, and down foraging might be a thing to do that. Buying more keys would be an option, right? So that's to me that's an option to do. There's more obviously. You need to think about that in more detail, what that impacts, but I think that could be an option for new players. But yeah, like when we were going hard, right, and we were getting like 500 volts a day. I mean, we were killing ourselves that one day we got 500 volts.
That one day.
One day we got 500 days. Like we were getting 300 some days, and those are the only days really where my white key total may have gone down, right? Like I feel like for the most part your white keys are able to capture almost all your, assuming you're hitting walking level 6, you should be able to get enough white keys to handle every vault you want to do for the most part. Except for, green and yellow, that's when you're starting to look at that real key sinks. But between whites and blues, like you should be able to get at minimum, if you get bad luck in a day, 225 white, and then if you want to hit walking goal 8, that's 66 blue keys. I mean, that should be sufficient. And if you're in a situation where you're playing that hard and you're running out of keys, you should be hitting those goals on a regular basis, right?
Unless you're driving all the time.
Well, that's true too. So, all right. So then I guess final thing we want to talk about, which really wasn't that much of a thing, but they surprised on us here. What?
Seniors boxing.
Seniors boxing. Yeah, I don't want to get in there, but I know I had the red on looking for Mike Tyson just because I knew how to say it. I didn't want to cheer against Mike Tyson, so even though probably smart money would have gone blue, but
I want to go blue, and you convinced me to put the red on.
I need to say that.
Beat Iron Mike is what you said.
Yeah, and he didn't. He didn't beat him.
Well, he took it very easy on him.
Well,
it was like boxing.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna say it was a moral victory. Moral victory for Tyson. So
like, I'm glad he went easy on the old man, but
okay.
But it was fun to watch once it was up.
Right.
Once it was up and running.
So yeah, and that was the thing. Like they tried to put on another good event. Cubieverse. It was fun. Being in the MMA Watch Party channel. For this event with people, but when Netflix hit their lag issues, I kind of tuned out of the event just because it was that much harder to watch, right? Which is unfortunate. But hey, I'm sure, as I said in there, I'm sure Illusion Weaver was happy it wasn't on him to solve the issue this time. So, they put on a decent thing. It was great. Part of the it's part of the community building, right? Which is awesome. So good on them for doing that and supporting it. Not that I've got my boxes yet, but we shall see. So
well, they don't work on the weekends,
That is true.
So
okay. So it's
tomorrow.
9 o'clock now.
Only one box.
Yeah, only one box for us.
It's the premium boxes somebody put on there.
Yeah. Right. Right. For sure. So.
So, and as Rael says, bet on Paul, cheer for Tyson.
Probably, but I can't not bet on cheer for who I'm betting on. But yeah, but it wasn't a great fight. You're right. So, but whatever. It was an event, right? So hey, we're getting at least one premium box out of it. So that's a good thing. So awesome.
One premium box of like gloves or something.
Right. All right. Someone's got.
For Lithial, posting stuff on the auction house post stream and skimming your favorite items. So, Foreman QB blueprint was posted.
Ooh. There you go.
Don't most of us have the Foreman already?
You had to get the Foreman. You had to help build a yellow QB, a yellow crane at one point. So I don't know if that's still available or not. So no, it's not available. It's only available in the Cubieverse. So so you got to be a veteran player to have that. So that's worth it. Anyways. No, sorry, that's a Foreman. Sorry, that's the original. That's the original 25 yellow volts, not the one. I'm the construction guy. So
No.
we have the Foreman QB. We don't have the Foreman blueprint. This was before our time.
Oh.
Yeah. Right. First crane.
Vancouver.
There you go. First crane in Vancouver blueprint. Well. Is there buy it now?
I don't think so. Are you seriously getting on your phone to check it out right now?
Damn right.
Atrocities always has to have the blueprints on stuff. Except for the ace. Or not the ace, the fan.
All right, I just bid on it. I'm leaning on that one right now. So last one sold for $10 million. Well, hey, we'll find out what we got. So awesome. All right, that's all I got. Gold Miner, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's pretty much all for this evening. Hopefully next weekend we will have those Christmas tree loot coats. So tune in for that.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Hopefully we'll be able to give one away to a lucky live viewer.
All right, and as we said, please like, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching. Live viewers, thank you for coming. Always a pleasure. Thanks. It's great. Always amazing to see people tune in. So that's cool. But I think we had a great conversation tonight. Lots of fun, lots of debate. So thank you. And
Okay.
see you later.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting.